Good early morning, everybody. It's May 15th, 2025. I hope everybody's doing well. I was really busy this past day picking up bitchcraft, branches that had fallen down, carrying them around, caring for the animals, etc., etc. And I just want to say the fox is not here. I believe the fox was stolen. I believe the fox was used in one of their rituals. The fox was taken off the property by these criminals. And I want to address a comment that I received by an alleged, obviously a perpetrator. And for all the people that are new to my channel, welcome. You probably found me through some of my past videos, through the videos that I posted about animals, etc. I moved to rural Kentucky in 2019. I purchased a lot of acreage purposely for my 501c3 nonprofit cat rescue. I brought with me 28 once feral cats that I trapped, spayed, neutered, vaccinated, all those things, brought them into my house, socialized them, knowing that I was going to move and didn't want to leave them behind. Unfortunately, 2 other cats got out. I had them sent back to me about 9 months later. One is still back there being cared for by somebody else. I'm going to read to you a comment that I received under Fluffernutter's Little Boy Kitten, a message to the neighborhood organized crime network. Now, obviously, you know that either one of the local neighbors did this, or a community-based agent, somebody in the know, etc. I automatically blocked this person, and I deleted the comment. But you know how it works with YouTube. When somebody posts a comment, at some point later, maybe a couple of hours, you'll receive it in your email. So obviously I saved it in my email, took it off the channel, because I'm saving all of these comments as evidence, okay? So now this was on May 13, 12:34 p.m., 2 days ago. Fluffernutter's Little Boy Kitten, a message to the neighborhood organized crime network. The person that responds is, I know nothing to, and I'm going to show you. Okay, this is the comment. And this is how you can tell a perpetrator, somebody who knows what's going on and who's out to discredit the person. Because of their narrative, they want to spread their narrative around, just the way the Perkies next door were spreading rumors around that I don't pay people to prevent them from cleaning my property, for working for me. But fortunately, 2 people actually told me that they were told that I didn't pay people. I don't know. I'm living here 6 years. I don't know anyone that could live anywhere for 6 years and not pay people. Especially when you've got off the charts utility bills in this rural community that are more expensive than I ever paid in New Jersey. So I'm going to read this ridiculous comment. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it once or twice, and I'm going to respond because I know this piece of crap is listening, in addition to the surveillance of fuckers that are listening right now. The comment is, someone may have put poison on your property. So I'm going to read it line by line and then comment, and then I'm going to read it in its entirety. Someone may have put poison on your property. Okay, well, stupid ass, these kittens lived inside of a building. These were kittens, a month-old kittens that lived inside of a building nursing inside. Okay, so someone may have put poison on my property. That's very possible. I think they did because I've got holes and burn marks all over my grass. Okay, person goes on to say, for their safety, you should rehome them. Okay, let's back up a little bit. Do you want to know why I have kittens? Because the mama cat was dumped on my property. She was not only dumped on my property, but she was not spayed, meaning that she could get pregnant. And guess what happened? She did. And out of the kindness of my heart, and not that I need to be caring for anybody else's dumped cats, I took her inside because I did not want her giving birth outside. So somebody went into a double-locked building and harassed those kittens. Not only do they physically go into locked buildings, they throw pithy dust around. They do it in the chicken coops, in my house, in the buildings, all the locked buildings they go into. And I'll give you an example. I went to the top of the hill today to clean up all the bitchcraft that's spread all over the property. And lo and behold, I found my brand new insulation that was in a locked building, taken out of that locked building and stuffed under the front portion of the pavilion building. Stuffed there, brand new insulation, never used. Okay, so let's back up. Someone may have put poison on your property. For their safety, you should rehome them. People have been rehoming their pets on my property since I moved here. Okay, so let's talk about the dog that Chris Bowles once had, called Blob. Blob. This big blobby dog. Nice dog, sweet dog. Very well-behaved dog. Always on my porch. Would show up in the middle of the night on my porch. On my property. Not once, not twice. I would have to drive that dog home. Oh, and how about my neighbors, the Perkies? Their dogs run wild. I was even cleaning down the county road on my property, and her dog, untethered, comes running out of her property and chasing me down the county road. For my safety, I purchased 64 fucking acres of land for my animals to be safe on. Not to have all my other fucking neighbors' animals run wild on my property. Eating my chickens, harming my cats, dumping animals on my property. After 3 days of living here, 4 of my cats were stolen. 1 was poisoned with antifreeze. 1 was hit right on the county road. I don't even know how he got there. Oh, another one. Found on my neighbor's property diagonally across the street. Dead. There is people around here using energy weapons. They're disabling animals and picking them up. And where would you suggest I rehome cats around here? The people around here can't even keep their own fucking animals on their own property. Oh, if I don't rehome them, knowing that this is deliberate, you are just as culpable. Really. This is the way a narcissist, the way a perpetrator twists around what they're doing to you as being your fault. and I'm not going to own it. It actually sounds like somebody who's involved in harming my animals. If you don't rehome them, knowing that this is, listen to it, knowing that this is deliberate, you're just as culpable. And it's not a good idea to wish harm on a child just because you can't keep your animals safe. Well, for the record, fuck up, I never wished harm on a child. I would never do that. What I said, because you twist my words, and that's what perpetrator narcissists do. They twist words, just like lawyers do. Lawyers, liars, same fucking shit. They twist what you're saying. Lies of omission, twisting the words around. That's not what I said. It's sort of like some of us, some people, they have their own predictive policing. See, I'm going to use your fucking language, okay? My own predictive policing. It's called into-fucking-wishing, okay? It's called intuition. It's called a knowing. I know nothing. You know nothing. You're absolutely right. You know nothing. Perfect handle for you. You know nothing. But someone, you said, is poisoning my property, and you said that this is deliberate. So I'm just reading between your lines that you know nothing, except that you know that somebody's poisoning my property and that it's deliberate. So what I said was that I know that something bad is going to happen to a male child. I've been saying this for a while. And you know how my intuition picked that up? I didn't just pull it out of my head like that. This is the way I felt it. You know, we've got this poopy nurse down the block. She likes to drop poopy diapers in front of my mailbox. She also likes to threaten workers on my property. She also likes to threaten me to duke it out with me on the county road. Don't worry. Most of this is recorded. Most of it is recorded, videotaped, already online, already distributed, and in some instances already shown to the sheriff's department, who does nothing. You know, because there's a huge conflict of interest. But let's not go there. So it occurred to me that those poopy diapers belong to a child. Right? Makes kind of a little bit of sense. So that woman had the audacity to involve that child in my harassment by throwing that child's diapers on my property. She involved a child in her harassment by throwing that child's diapers on my property. Now, that child could have been a boy or a girl. Okay? It doesn't take a rocket scientist. Okay? And I'm just going to say it because you know nothing, right? You know nothing except that somebody poisoned my property and that it's deliberate. So I'm going to teach you a little something about how normal people process information. So out of nowhere, off the top of my head, my intuition, which is usually right, except when I'm being targeted with weapons while I'm sleeping. Oh, and yeah, I can prove it. it occurred to me that there is a male child that there will be harm coming to. I didn't wish it on the child. That piece of crap down the block involved that child in my harassment. So you can thank her. You can thank her for involving a child of which I know nothing about. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. My intuition said it's a boy. Okay? That's what my intuition told me. So you go on to say, and it's not a good idea to wish harm on a child because you can't keep your animal safe. Well, you piece of shit perpetrator, spinning it around because you poison my property knowing it's deliberate. How would you like it? How would you like it if somebody came into your home and harmed your pets? How would you like it, since I moved here, 31 cats have been poisoned, stolen, harmed, run over. 31. And that's okay. I've already contacted the sheriff's department, PETA. I will never shut up about what's going on here in satanic, ritual, Freemason, loser town, Jackson County. With all you perpetrators, all you little organized crime network, paid under the table, involved in animal torture, animal abuse, animal cruelty. I have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on those animals. In fact, I spent thousands and thousands of dollars to move them from New Jersey to Kentucky. And I've adopted in all the cats that have been dumped on my property, 2 of which got pregnant and had 2 litters of kittens inside of a building, not outside on the poison property. Oh, let's talk about the defamation and the slander, the whispering, the whispers to Dr. Rebecca Wilson, who's refusing veterinary care for these animals. So I would say that she is culpable because she knows that animals are being dumped here. She knows they're getting pregnant and she refuses veterinary care. She should have her veterinary license revoked. And here comes the other perpetrator comment. Qualifications aren't worth the paper they're written on, judging by what comes out of your mouth. Oh, you mean, what does come out of my mouth? The fact that I'm calling you on your piece of shit? The fact that I'm calling you out? That somebody poisoned my property? Oh, but the little kitten died inside of a building. I can't keep my animals safe because I have criminals, an organized crime network, defamation, slander, trespassing, vandalism. Tell it to somebody who believes your piece of shit words. Tell it to somebody. So, of course, I needed to have a conversation with ChatGPT over your fucking comments. And I said, I have documented evidence and eyewitness reports suggesting that defamation is spread to intentionally deny services, or that those services be performed poorly, resulting in damages. Are there federal or Kentucky state laws against this? Well, yes. Both federal and Kentucky state laws provide potential protection and legal recourse when defamation is used to cause harm, especially resulting in the denial of services, targeted reputational damage, or intentional economic harm. Who do you think is paying for those mother cats? Who do you think is paying for those kittens? Right? The food, the litter, the extra washing of clothing, the blankets that are being torn up by these criminals. Oh, yeah, I can't prove it. What do you have? One of those fusion center operatives? So what you're describing, ChatGPT says, is you're referring to defamation-based interference, which could be part of defamation, libel, slander, a torturous interference with business or contractual relationships. It's a civil conspiracy. It's the intentional infliction of emotional distress, like stealing my fox that I've cared for literally for more than 2 years. Yeah, that's right, more than 2 years. Gone, disappeared, because of your satanic ritual, full moon ritual holiday. Oh, and don't go telling me that it's some delusional behavior. I know very well what satanic rituals are, you piece of crap. And I know this town is seeped in witchcraft, cults. This is a cult, organized crime cult neighborhood. Low class, white trash. And you know what? I don't need any degrees or education to see the facts going on here. And ChatGPT says, well, and if government actors are involved, then it's possibly deprivation of rights under the color of law. And under Kentucky common law, defamation occurs when somebody publishes false, F-A-L-S-E, false statement about another person. You know, like when my neighbors threaten my workers to not work on my property. If you continue to clean her property, you'll be part of our lawsuit, she says. Or how about the tree guys that I've hired that you've told that I don't pay? Right? That's false. I wouldn't have such a high credit score if I didn't pay my bills. I wouldn't be able to live here if I didn't pay my bills. Well, that's injurious to my reputation. And it's made with negligence and actual malice. It's deliberate. And if I can demonstrate that false statements were made intentionally to harm my ability to receive services, sell this property, or access public functions, This will be the basis of a lawsuit. So let's go back to your comments here. Someone may have put poison on your property with regard to the little boy kitten that was in a double-locked building with his mama nursing him. For their safety, you should rehome them. If you don't rehome them, knowing that this is deliberate, thanks for letting me know that it's deliberate. You didn't have to tell me it's deliberate. I know it's deliberate. I've been here 6 years. And I don't wish any harm on a child. But my internal compass, my intuition, my internal predictive policing, because that's what you guys know, right? The predictive policing. You instigate someone into committing a crime or whatever it is that you fuckers do. I would never wish harm on a child. But my intuition telling me that when that piece of crap down the block dumped poopy diaper, she involved that child in my harassment. And because knowingly or unknowingly, she has now harmed that child. Because that child now has harmed me. Okay? That's how it works. That's why all these pieces of crap that involve their children, you know, like the ones today that decided they were going to walk their 2 children down in a little trolley cart and do a U-turn in front of my house. When you involve your children to harass or torment or harm another person, that child then is going to incur the karmic debt that you inflicted upon them. So keep involving your children in harassing me. It has nothing to do with me and everything to do with what you are doing. So, perpetrator, banned. But for all you guys out there that know how this works, here's the comment. And you do know nothing. You're ignorant. Well, thank you so much, because I'm glad to expose people like you. Because my channel is to educate the public. And I provide evidence. I want to educate the public on how blacklisting, watchlisting, targeting works. We need to wake up people, because it's happening across the world, across the country, especially in rural towns like Kentucky here. And don't worry. You keep using your children, you keep using your animals to harass me, the karma comes back to you. You send your animals to my property, I'm not doing anything to them. You have cursed your animals. And you are all already cursed. And yeah, there is a conspiracy against me. And it is deprivation of rights under the color of law. Sections 241 and 242. So anyway, I look so forward to your questions and comments down below, because I have so many people whose animals have been harmed through this disgusting program. And other animals around here have been harmed by the same perpetrators. So you want to get involved in your little organized crime network? Don't use your children, because you are cursing your own children. And from my mouth to the universe, I know it's true. And my intuition says it's a boy. Okay? So there you go. Now the karma's back on you. So that woman who decides she's going to put another child's belongings on my property involved that child in a horrific karmic debt. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading, signing off for now.